so I finally found my tripod, you know what I mean, where I can actually set the camera up and be able to go ahead and explain a couple things to y'all. Today what I'm going to actually be working on is I want to show y'all what a four-wheel kit is as far as on a tuck wheel setup, how that actually works. Also want to touch on some of the stuff that kind of sets me apart from other companies, what's the DK difference, and stuff like that. Because truth be told, like I'll be honest with you, I'm not the cheapest out there, but I don't work for free. But at the same time, you know, I offer a different level of quality, you know what I mean, when it comes to like my wheels and stuff like that. Certain stuff don't fly with me. Other companies, they just let it go. I'm not like that. If my name is on it, it's going to be right, it's going to be correct, you know what I mean, and it's going to be on point. You know, you got a lot of these fly-by-night type of companies. I can't lie, the semi-wheel game right now is so watered down that it's crazy. You got people who is sitting here, you know, that just, as an example, just because you built one LS motor that runs good, it don't make you no engine builder. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way exactly, you know, with these semi-wheels and stuff like that. I've done my time in the game. I've screwed up wheels. I've made good wheels to the point that I've perfected my craft and that I'm still continuing to perfect it now. But I've done all of my work, my homework, my research, my trial and error, every single thing that I needed to do to get me to where I am at today. And a lot of these people, you know what I mean, are just jumping into the game. They ain't never built no wheels before. Just because you ran a CNC don't make you no machinist. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to the whole wheel thing and stuff like that. And it's just like, you know, you want to jump on in the game, you know what I mean? And just because you cut one successful set of wheels don't make you no wheel builder. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, from structural to knowing what your tolerance is and this and that, and you know, your pros and cons and stuff like that. So some of y'all be like, hey, look, y'all want to save money. I get it, we all want to save money, you know what I'm saying? But y'all the same ones that be mad when y'all got to spend money twice because you decided to go the cheaper route and ended up getting a crappy quality or something that just didn't work or last or something like that, and now you got to go spend money again over here, you know what I'm saying, to get everything done right, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, long story short, just because, you know what I mean, you just fresh into the game and you claiming to build wheels and all of that stuff don't make you no wheel builder. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I mean? I will walk circles around half of these people out here, you know what I mean, pertaining to these wheels. I can't compete with big companies like JTX and American Force and all of that stuff, and I'm okay with that. It ain't even no big deal to me because I stay in my lane, you know what I'm saying? But one thing's for sure and two things for certain, a lot of them companies ain't never got that knowledge, you know what I'm saying, of what I got, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I bring a lot to the table when it comes to Dually King Industries, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I have seen other companies start out building wheels one way, and then all of a sudden, I'll start showing y'all like how I actually build my wheels and stuff like that. And then a couple months later, you start to see them change their wheels and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just kind of crazy to me, you know what I'm saying, how, you know, you want to take either my idea or something along those lines and incorporate it into your wheels. So I call them type of people like YouTube mechanics, you know, so y'all some YouTube wheel builders, you know what I mean, when you got to look at somebody else's stuff to learn how to build a wheel correctly in order for you to build your stuff correctly. Come on now, you know what I'm saying? You don't want these YouTube wheel builders, you know what I'm saying? You want the real deal. So it's just funny to me. So I'm sure that, you know what I mean, what I'm showing y'all in this video today, somehow one of these, you know what I mean, new rookies, you know what I mean, is going to take it and run with it. But I don't care, because at the end of the day, what I'm here for is not them. What I'm here for is to help you guys out, especially when it comes to like purchasing wheels or solving your guys' issues, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I try and help you guys out exactly where I can. You know what I mean? A lot of times y'all will call, ain't even getting no wheels from me, but I will still try and help you out the best of what I can. Sometimes I can help, sometimes that I can't, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I felt like I did my due diligence by trying to help you out, you know what I mean, the best that I can. So anyway, I'm gonna quit talking about that. Y'all already know what kind of service y'all gonna get when y'all come here. You know what I mean? What sets me apart from other companies. So anyway, let me go ahead and quit talking. Let me go ahead and just move on forward. So what I'm actually gonna show y'all today, obviously I got two wheels sitting down here. I only need one for the demonstration. So what this is this is a 16-inch inner wheel to simulate like on the Chevy C30s, C3500s, square bodies and OBSs. So what this is a 16-inch wheel. What we're talking about is a 4-wheel kit. So a lot of y'all call me and say, hey, look, I want to run tuck wheels on my my square body or whatever the case is. So, and a lot of y'all don't know what the 4-wheel kit is. 4-wheel kit is utilizing your stock 16-inch inner wheel, and then you'll run the 422s on the outside. It does a couple things. The first thing is it saves you money. The second thing is it allows you to run like a 10-ply tire on the inside, because these 22-inch tires aren't rated for a really high load like, you know, what some of this other stuff is. So it allows you to, when that tire gets overloaded, the 10-ply on the inside actually makes up for the difference, like when you're hauling a car trailer and stuff like that. So that's your second option, you know what I'm saying? And the third thing is it actually gives you clearance. So it gives you a little bit more clearance than if you were to do it with all 6 wheels. So this is pertaining adapters. You can X-nate all of this by doing a direct bolt setup, but when you do a direct bolt setup and you do all 6 wheels, believe me, it comes at a cost. You know what I'm saying? So for the people who's actually, you know, on a budget or trying to save money or whatever, you know what I mean, then this is definitely the route to go. So how that actually works is you take a 16-inch inner wheel right here, and this is, let's just say that this wheel is standing up, it's actually on the truck. So you got your axle coming through here, your lug studs. So you got your 16-inch inner wheel, you got your 8 to 10 lug adapter. You're gonna put that here, and then you're gonna zip it down. So once you tighten these bolts up in the center right here, that's actually what's gonna hold this 16-inch inner wheel. And then you're gonna take these nuts off, and then you're gonna take a 22 like this, and then you're gonna set that on that adapter, and this tire height and this tire height are gonna be the same height, you know what I mean? So that way everything rolls along the ground just fine. So that's how the actual 4-wheel kit actually works, you know what I'm saying? So this is the wrong bolt pattern to this. This is actually an 8-lug adapter, but you get it for video purposes. So and then that'll sit just like that. So, like I said, you'll have your 8 to 10 lug adapter in between that, and the 2 tire heights, you know what I mean, match, and that's what you pretty much call a 4-wheel kit. So you don't have to do it like that. The 4-wheel kit, like I said, it saves you money. It gets you inside for clearance. It actually saves you, it gives you an inch more additional than if you were to go with all 6 wheels. So that's one option right there, which is obviously going to be your cheapest option as well. And then that's how that 4-wheel kit works. So I also want to point out another thing as far as with center caps and stuff like that. So let me move the camera on over here, and then I'll show you what I got going on. So another thing I want to talk about is center caps. Center caps is a big thing. Yeah, if y'all know from some of my past videos, y'all know that I hate the big ABS plastic center cap, but unfortunately sometimes that's the only option that's available for certain wheels or for a certain price point, stuff like that, or for certain situations. But with that being said, I do want to show you the different types. So the standard type is this one right here. You know what I'm saying? And you can find this at most truck stops. It's dirty, I understand that. This is just for demonstration purposes anyway. So what I'm going to show you is this wheel right here is a Mega Plus design. And this right here, the diameter of this right here is 14 inches, meaning from here to here is 14 inches. Meaning that anything, your design-wise, if it's bigger than that, then it's going to cover it up. So let me just show y'all exactly what I'm talking about, because this is the DK difference, you know, the type of service that you're going to get when you come here. So I'm going to put this center cap on, and then I'm going to grab this camera. So you can see right here, now this design is covered up by this center cap. You can obviously see that it's covered up here, here, all the way around it, and I can't stand that. First off, I don't even like these caps. Second of all, I can't stand it when your cap covers up your design. I feel like you're losing money at some point. So that's what that looks like right there with that style cap right there. But you know what I mean, you look at that wheel like that and it looks real good. So let's just try this with a different cap of what I consider the DK difference when it comes to the little details like this and that and stuff like that. So let me show you with this other cap. So you see here, this is the little details that, you know what I mean, that you're going to get when you come here. You know what I'm saying? Is this type of stuff right here. So obviously you see the cap doesn't cover up none of your design whatsoever. You still get the look of what you want, like your spikes or acorns or whatever it is that you're looking for. And you know what I mean? And you get you maximize your design, and it doesn't cover none of that stuff up, and it just looks a whole lot cleaner and it looks a whole lot better. So right there, so that right there, you know what I mean, is just one of the things that kind of set me apart from a different company. A lot of these places would just give you this, give you that, and send you on your way, and they won't even care about that. But that's the little things that I personally care about, you know what I mean, that I make sure that I go that extra mile, because I want, if you out here riding my wheels, you know what I mean, you are a representation of me just like I am a representation of you. You know what I mean, as far as in quality, you know what I'm saying? If I don't care about how, you know what I mean, the product that I'm sending out, then obviously that means I don't care how you out here riding, you know what I'm saying? So I want to make sure that you out here looking good. When you spend thousands of dollars and stuff like that on wheels, hey, give them their money's worth, you know what I'm saying? And by doing little shoddy stuff like that, it ain't flying. So, but anyway, those are just two options on what you can actually run. And this is the way that I actually choose to do it here. So now that I got that out of the way, what I'm going to show you next is what the 6-wheel kit is instead of the 4-wheel kit. So I'm sure in your head you're just like, okay, would you just add 2 more wheels? Yes, technically that is the case, but it's a little bit more that just goes along with it. So let me move this camera, and then I'll show you what that's about too. Okay, so right here, I got 2 wheels right here. This is what the 6-wheel kit actually looks like. And this is all part of the same package. You know what I mean? So I know you're probably looking like, okay, well that one's a small hole, that one's a big hole. There's a reason for that. So I'm gonna put, this is a face wheel, so I'm just gonna put a piece of cardboard, you know what I mean, in between it, because I don't want to scratch the faces. So technically, that would be your inside wheel right here. And then this right here is going to be your tuck wheel. So what I want to show you is, don't mind the cardboard, just because that's just there to like I said, protect the wheel from getting scratched. But anyway, when you look through it, you still see this wheel right here. You know what I'm saying? So when that wheel is actually bolted up, you still see all of that. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's just real tacky. I'm not even gonna say tacky, it's just more so ugly. You know what I'm saying? To where, like I said, it doesn't look like anything even matches up. So that's one way to do it. You can, you know, most companies, they're just gonna do it just like this, send you on your way, and that's just it. But the DK difference, I don't do that. So I'm going to show you how I actually do mine and what separates me from the other companies as well. So since I saw that, I figured, okay, I can't stand that, so I got to do something about it. I want it to be right, and I want it to look good. So now what I do is I'll do the inside wheel in the mega hole. And now, since that actually makes the wheel, I guess, pushes you out further, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that pushes you out further an inch. What I actually do, when you put a tuck wheel on top of here, is so close in between the two duals, you can't deck the face and then expect the two wheels not to touch. So what I actually do is I actually face the inside of the wheel. You know what I mean? At the wheel mounting surface. And then that way it actually brings the wheel in closer to the leaf spring as opposed to the two duals together. So that's the first thing that sets me apart, because a lot of companies don't do that. And then, so once you put your 8 to 10 lug adapter on, you'll put your inner wheel on, and then you're going to stick your outer wheel on. So now you look at that wheel, you can look straight through it, you know what I'm saying? And it looks like everything is all lined up and everything. So these are the little extra steps, you know what I'm saying, that I go when it comes to building my wheels. You know what I'm saying? To make sure that those wheels are actually tucking on the inside and all of that stuff. So now at this point, now you can run that 14-inch cap or the, you know, the other cap, you know what I'm saying, so that it doesn't cover up your design. But the other one won't cover up the design because this one's not that big. But like I said, you can run whatever you want now and everything looks good. So like I said, these are the type of things that, you know, I do different as far as when it comes to my sets of wheels and stuff like that. So those are some of the things, you know what I'm saying, that just sets me apart from other companies and doing things the regular way, you know what I'm saying. And I've been in this game for a while, you know what I'm saying, and I've learned a whole lot, you know what I mean. I just choose to kind of pass it down to y'all. I don't tell you guys every single thing, because some things, you know what I mean, you know, first off, don't even need to be explained. Not only that, but you know, what's understood don't need to be explained. So, you know, I got my name for a reason, you know what I mean, the Dually King, because I mean, hey, I'm good at what I do, you know what I'm saying? And I want to, like I said, be able to help you guys out as best as what I can and be able to bring you guys a product along with the customer service of what, you know, should be good, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, like I said, I wanted to touch on that 6-wheel kit. I thought that that was a perfect example while I had a set going out to be able to show y'all on. Same thing for the 4-wheel kit and those 26s. All of those are headed on out today. But I got some floating caps that I'm actually working on, so I'll cut this back on first chance that I get to go ahead and get those on video as well. And other than that, I think that's pretty much going to wrap up this video. But I will get those, like I said, on a video here shortly. But other than that, I definitely appreciate y'all watching. And other than that, I think that's pretty much about it as far as on what I got going on today. So yeah, other than that, that's pretty much what I got going on today. So do me a favor, before you leave this video, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. You already know, it's the Dually King, and I'm signing off. Peace.